She's a Barbie girl in her Barbie world, and these celebrities want her to keep it that way. Welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and today these are the top 10 celebrities who refuse to watch the Barbie movie. Number 10. Gal Gadot. Gal has already made a place for herself amongst the world of powerful celebs thanks to her role as the iconic superhero Wonder Woman in the DC Extended Universe. A few years back, she was offered the opportunity to portray another iconic character loved by many, this time as the lovable plastic princess, Barbie. Around the same time as this film was getting off the ground, she was set to film her role in Wonder Woman 1984 and had also already signed contracts to appear in multiple DC and Netflix projects over the last couple of years. Despite initially being offered the lead, she was another celeb that wasn't even asked to make a small appearance in the already massive ensemble cast. She will more than likely not be checking this movie out, as not only is she too busy, but honestly, why would she want to see so many people having fun that she didn't get invited to? That's just like inviting the guy that you don't like to a party and letting them sit in a corner all night observing. Hey, it's uncomfortable. Don't invite that guy. Number 9. Cillian Murphy. Cillian is the man set to star as the titular scientist in Christopher Nolan's upcoming masterpiece, Oppenheimer. The film features an all-star cast with the likes of Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, and Robert Downey Jr. As the internet has certainly hammered into your brain by now, Oppenheimer is set to release on the same day as Barbie. These two movies are somehow the most anticipated releases of the summer. I physically cannot purchase a ticket to either of these movies for at least a week because good god they are sold out. A good thing for the films, but not for the cast. Cillian has claimed that his film may be making money, but that it's not for the intended reason. The goal of the film is to deliver a cinematic experience that you won't forget, and instead people are buying tickets as a meme, and I can only imagine how disruptive those crowds are going to be. He has claimed that he will never watch the Barbie movie as it ruined the premiere of his film, and it won't have the intended impact that it was supposed to. Get it? Impact? Like a bomb? Number 8. Zac Efron. Zachary David Alexander Efron is no stranger to the world of rumor casting. For the last 4 years, he's been on the top of Marvel's list of actors who may play Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four. But apparently he was also at the top of someone else's higher list, and that was the list of toy giant Mattel. That list was of the men that they wanted to play the leading Ken in their new Barbie live-action movie. Zac was their #1 pick to portray the iconic male counterpart to Barbie, but they asked him to participate in the film and he denied their request. Apparently at the time of production, he was already working on his thriller action movie called Gold, which ended up being a dud at the box office. Due to his busy schedule, as well as a commitment to appear as the wrestler Kevin Von Erich in a new biopic called The Iron Claw, Zac was unable to commit to the flick and was eventually replaced with Ryan Gosling, who, let's face it, he's gonna be the best Ken ever portrayed on screen. Now, I don't know for sure if anybody on this list will or will not see the movie, but something tells me that Zac isn't waiting in line to watch someone in what was supposed to be his role. Number 7. Vin Disel. Vin Disel, whose real name I just found out is Mark Sinclair, so it makes sense why he changed that, has been starring as the leading man of the Fast and Furious franchise since the first film was released in 2001. As many may expect, being the face of a franchise like that means Vin is almost always filming. The Fast and Furious movies have been known to take forever to finish thanks to the complicated stunts, the CGI, and just the overall insanity of the project. Seriously, they went to space in the last movie. Fast 10 premiered this past May to massive success, and somehow after 10 movies, fans are still eating up these action-packed fuel rides, despite them getting cheesier and cheesier over the years. Thanks to its initial success, the planned 10th Fast and Furious movie has begun production. Lord knows who they wrapped into that one. They've got Jason Momoa and John Cena mixed into this now. The next movie should reveal that Nicolas Cage has been their dad the whole time. Since Vin will be working hard on his next Fast movie, he will have no time to see the Barbie movie and refuses to make any time to see it. Number 6. Martin Short. Martin Short is a man who needs no introduction because he usually does it himself. Martin is one of the original comedy greats, being a key member in making the Canadian sketch comedy series Second City Television alongside fellow Canadian legends like Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, and the late great John Candy. Martin has lent his magnificent voice to many projects over the years, both on screen and in a recording booth. And in case you didn't know, Mattel has actually been pumping out Barbie movies since computers were capable of rendering something that resembled a person. The early animated movies of Barbie are just hard to watch, but there is one particular movie that featured Martin as the main antagonist. The Princess and the Pauper is a 2004 horror film, kids movie, in which Martin played the character Preminger. I'm not entirely sure why he said yes to this project, but as you'll come to learn, the Barbie title brings a lot of cheddar with it. hit, so thanks to this movie being made on a shoestring budget, he got a lot of money. When it was announced that there would be a live-action version of Barbie, Martin was initially excited, hoping that he may get a chance to star in the film and sing his little heart out. Instead, the movie started production without him, and he didn't know that he wasn't going to be involved until after the trailer came out. Whether it be pride or a form of revenge, Martin will not be attending the Barbie premiere. Instead, he'll be next door getting his eardrums caved in at Oppenheimer. Number 5. Amy Schumer. And the film Trainwreck, which is the most accurate film title of all time, has been a busy bee for a while now. Amy's career has been rocky on screen, however behind the scenes she's been very active as a writer, a producer, and a stand-up comedian, with her latest special, Emergency Contact, now streaming on Netflix. Recently, Amy was asked to participate in a small project alongside Margot and Ryan called Barbie. Amy was one of the many talents offered a spot in the live-action film adaptation of one of the most popular dolls in human history, but she denied that request to appear as one of the many variants. Her reasoning isn't anything scandalous, it's just simply because Amy was on tour during the time of filming and couldn't actually physically be on set. But she actually shared a story about herself being asked to audition for the role 6 years ago, but claimed that due to the film taking so long to produce on top of just her busy schedule that it would have been impossible for her to do. The idea of Amy in the film isn't horrible, she could have been like a fun little addition to the ensemble cast, but because of the drama that surrounded the original movie and probably what surrounded it now, because hey, she didn't get asked to return, she's not gonna be going to the theater to watch something that they just forgot about her and like, why not bring Amy in? You asked her a few years ago. Number 4, Tim Curry. I see you shiver with anticipation. Tim Curry, better known as the most wonderful and treasured man to ever grace our screens, has a little bit of a bias towards the live-action Barbie movie, and it's for a good reason. In 2001, Tim participated in a straight-to-video DVD called Barbie and the Nutcracker, playing the main antagonist of the piece, the Mouse King. For some reason, the producers over at Mattel just love spending all of their money on getting a good villain. How about throwing some more money into the graphics, guys? These people are horrifying to look at. The Nutcracker was actually the company's very first attempt at animation and motion capture, so we have to forgive them a little bit. Maybe if they had as much money as Disney, things would have been different. Because Tim technically broke ground by starring in this flick, he holds a grudge towards the creators of the live action film, having a personal belief that they canceled the franchise that had been doing fine, considering that there were like 40 Barbie movies by now. Literally, I counted, there are exactly 42 Barbie movies that have been released since 2001. I don't know how I feel about that. Tim is just one of the many animated stars that won't be stopping by the theater to watch this mess anytime soon. Number 3, Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway doesn't just share the same name as William Shakespeare's wife, yes, that is a real fact. She's also been up for a few roles over the years, with one particular one leaving a sour note in her career. Anne was actually on the short list of people who were going to be casted as the live-action Barbie lead. She had made it through several rounds of auditions and performed multiple read-throughs with cast members, but the role was ultimately offered to Margot Robbie. There was no real reasoning for this other than the studio believing that Margot was just better suited for the role. Yep, nothing wrong, just the studio saying, hey, we picked someone better, my darling. When asked about the ordeal in interviews, she's so far claimed that the split was simply due to an inability to agree on things. Creative differences once again cost someone their job. However, Anne was up for the role a long time ago. Perhaps there is still hope that she'll make an appearance in the movie alongside many other A-list actors, shortly making their cameo mark in the Barbie world. But she'll probably not go out and see it because, hey, it costs too much to go to the movies these days. Number 2, Seth Rogen. As mentioned earlier in this list, the Barbie movie we are about to receive was not the very first planned live-action movie. During a brief period in 2018, the Barbie movie was being written by a production company that really had nothing to do with kids' toys. Seth Rogen's production house, Point Grey, were one of the many companies who had a toe dipped into the Barbie pond. Their part in the project was to pitch and punch up the existing script to add a little bit more adult humor for the parents in the crowd. Ultimately, the end product was nothing like what Mattel was expecting, and honestly, I'm not sure what they wanted. They asked the guy who blew up the leader of North Korea to punch up a movie about a doll. At the end of the day, Seth's version of the film was shelved along with any other versions of the project as Warner Brothers purchased the rights. When the first trailer got released for the Barbie movie, Seth actually had no cares to give, reason being, he already moved on to his next passion project, an animated reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which so far just looks awesome. Since Seth has spent the last year developing his new movie, he has little to no time to actually go out and do things and watch anything in theaters. So something tells me that if he could go though, he'd be more of an Oppenheimer kind of a guy. And at number 1, Margot Robbie. Taking the number 1 spot on our list is Margot Robbie herself. Now, many actors have famously refused to see their own movies, and it's usually as simple as being uncomfortable with seeing themselves on such a massive screen. With Margot being the lead Barbie of this movie, we are surely going to be blessed with loads and loads of screen time dedicated to Margot and her feet, which are for some reason causing the internet to lose their mind. Think the whole heel thing is impressive? I watched this woman suffocate a man, walk across his chest, steal his keys, and unlock herself, all with her feet. For that, and I'm sure a million other reasons, she will not be attending the premiere this time around. One of those reasons is probably not wanting people to stare at her feet instead of watching the movie. Hey y'all, her eyes are up here! And those are the celebrities who refuse to watch the Barbie movie. Will you refuse to see the movie? I won't. That thing looks fun. Leave a like on this video if you enjoy our content. It means a lot to us here at the channel. If you made it to the end of this video, a 10-foot Barbie dream house set is on its way with no receipt. Thanks for stopping beyond the screen today, and we'll see you next time.